Welcome to Community Voices on Praise 100.9, Charlotte's Inspiration Station, bringing you resources that are relevant to your life. Here's your host, Francine Marie.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Francine Marie, and today it's all about the kiddies. You know, big brothers and big sisters. You know, we volunteered with them at some time, heard of them, or known of someone who volunteers for them. Well, today we have got our volunteer extraordinaire with us. We have Sonja Allison. She's our volunteer. Also, Joseph Butler. He is Director of Community Engagements, and they're joining us today to talk a little bit about 100 Men in 100 Days campaign and much more. So with that said, welcome.
Thanks
for having us.
You know what? People need to know about 100 Men in 100 Days campaign. And then we're going to seg into all the ways that we can volunteer. We all have talents.
We do.
And so we think less of our talent, thinking that, oh, nobody wants to know that. But kids out there are starving. It's like the mental nourishment that these children need.
I agree. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate you having us. And 100 Men in 100 Days campaign is exactly what it means. We're trying to recruit 100 fraternity men. And I'm talking about the Omegas. I'm talking about the Alphas. I'm talking about the Kappas to come out and get involved. We have a national partnership with them. And the national partnership has charged those fraternity, the presidents of those fraternities nationwide has charged them to recruit 1,000 men by 2010. So here in Charlotte, we're going to do our part. So what we want to do is in the next 100 days, we want to charge the fraternities to come out and sign up to be involved with our organization.
Where can we sign up?
That's a good question. You can go to our website. You can sign up at our website. You go to www.BBBSCharlotte.org.
Got it.
And you go on our website and you'll see it plain. You see it big. It says 100 Men in 100 Days.
Okay. Why do they have to be college graduates? Can they be, well, this is your program, but can you take someone who has not gone to college?
We do.
Okay.
We don't discriminate. With the charge for the 100 Men in 100 Days is supporting that initiative from the national level of the fraternity president saying we want our fraternity men to really step up and get involved with this organization. So, but for any individual that has the heart, has the passion, has the desire, we want you, because I think everybody, as you said, has gifts and talents and they can add to our children's lives. So we definitely don't discriminate. We want all those who really have that, that passion for our children to get involved.
The passion is right. And you know what else? It's time.
Yeah, exactly.
The biggest misconception I think that people have is what the time commitment is. A lot of people think that you have to put in a lot of time every day. You don't have to put every day in. Volunteering and mentoring these kids can be giving them a phone call. I'll share with you some of the things I do, like progress report time. I call and, I get reports from progress time. Kind of keep check. I don't see them every week. I try to see them once a month. Sometimes I see them more than once a month. But like I said, a lot of times it's phone calls, checking on them if they have something going on. They have Facebook, so I monitor Facebook. I talk to them through Facebook. So there's all kinds of ways that you can kind of stay in touch with your mentee.
Is that not the best way to communicate with your child? If they'll let you on there.
True.
Well, the kids these days kind of get a little wild with these Facebook pages. So
you monitor that.
Some of it you monitor. Being a mentor, if you see something that is just not good, you should be able to go out and tell them, hey, that's not good. That's what a lot of the mentoring, just being that support system, kind of steering them in the right direction, making sure they be the best person that they can be.
Since October is Domestic Violence Month, I have to mention this movie that I saw. It was called Saving Ophelia. It's on Lifetime. And when I saw it, it just resonated with how teens are dating. And I know we're not talking about teen dating.
Okay.
We're not. Yeah. But it's a part of their life. Yeah. It's a part. You remember when our parents used to say, do you like boys or do you like girls? Now it's a given.
Yes.
And cell phones are a given.
Yes.
And so we do a lot of public service announcements about dangerous texting.
True.
and how Facebook and these internet outlets can be kind of dangerous to someone's reputation.
True.
So that's wonderful how you're going through.
Well, one of my mentees is 16, so I'm dealing with the teenager. So I watch a lot of those things with the dating. She's into dating boys. Her sister is actually 13, so I'm kind of in the teen years. So the issues that you're talking about are some things that I am having to deal with.
Whether we want to or not.
Right.
So as adults, we can say, well, I'm not going to go there. But really, you have to go there in some form or fashion, because we have to monitor the grades, we have to monitor their social life, and we just have to make sure they're balanced.
True.
And that's a big thing now. I'm not going to say how old we all are, but it was different when we grew up.
True.
It was just different. It was easier.
It was.
Right.
Well, it's still taking to me the village approach. I mean, it really takes a village, and it takes all of us doing our part, and that's kind of what Big Brothers and Big Sisters is about, doing our part, just minimum, because it's not a lot of time that we require from our volunteers. As Sonja spoke, is a misconception. You think, oh, I have to be in this child life every day, I have to adopt this child, but that's not the approach. We just ask that you spend 2 to 4 times out of a month with that child, 2 to 4 times out of a month, going out and hanging out with that child. And definitely it becomes more than a program. It becomes about relationship. So you want to spend time with that child as the years progress, and that's what this is about, building relationships, fostering relationships. And then, from there becomes the mentoring, comes the discipline, becomes the love, comes the guidance, comes the direction, comes all the wonderful things that we get in relationships. We were born into a relationship. We were. So we just take that approach with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, that, we're trying to do the best we can with relationships.
If you're just now tuning in, that is the voice of Joseph Butler. He is our Director of Community Engagements, also joined by our volunteer extraordinaire.
Yes.
It's Sonja Allison, and we're talking about just signing up. It's a new, well, not a new program, but it's an initiative and a pledge that our college folks have taken, our Omegas, our Kappas, our Alphas, 100 Men in 100 Days campaign. And Charlotte is going to do their thing and get the men that we need. Now, what about the women? Do you need women?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to let you
Oh,
address
you'll let me
that,
address that part.
You've been around for some time.
Right now, we have a lot of women on the waiting list. We actually need little girls. We do have the women sign up. The women sign up, you would not believe how they sign up. So we do have a waiting list of women that are waiting for little girls. So we're also looking for little girls to come and sign up for the program to be matched with these ladies that are waiting. So we have the desire is there. We just need the children, the little girls.
So I'm thinking, single moms, there's a lot of us out there. And we think, well, we can handle it. I've got my home situation. I don't need any volunteer coming in. My daughter, we would think that a big brother, big sister is for somebody who has, a minus in their household. But we can remember when we were kids, just that one person who meant a lot to us, who was just present.
True.
That's the misconception, I believe. My relationship, I'll just say, like I said, I mentor two sisters. I have a good relationship with their mom, their dad, the grandmother. I have a relationship with the family. So it's not that I came in to take over. It was just kind of an extra hand, because a lot of times kids can talk to other people besides parents. And so there's a lot of things they can tell a friend that they can't tell a parent. Now, my girls know that if they tell me something that I know that the parent needs to know, the parent's going to find out. So it's not like I don't share with the parent, but if it's something I can handle, I will handle it. But if it's something that I feel like, I need to sit down with their mom, their dad, and say, hey, here, this is what's going on. This is what I've been told. This is what we need, we need to do. Then I do that. But a lot of times I'm kind of like the second person they can come and talk to. They feel comfortable. And, I've been told by the family that, we want our girls to feel comfortable talking to you, because there's times when they can't talk to us. So at least we know they have somebody to talk to when they're, they may need to make a decision.
A quick decision.
Something, and they really don't want to, I really don't want to talk to my mom. I really don't want to talk to my dad, so they have somebody that can say, hey, here's what I'm deciding. What do you think? Somebody that can give them, an objective opinion. Still kind of in the parent role, but not really a parent. But just being that second person to help them out.
A warm heart and 2 ears.
True.
Yeah, basically.
I would agree with Sonja. I think speaking to the women, they're just nurturing. I think that's just a God-given ability that God blessed you guys with. So, not that men are not nurturing, but
let's talk about the men.
But let's talk about the men for a minute. Let's go to the men. But I think men sometimes, especially our men, are just commitment phobia. We don't like commitment. So we think that I got to go in, I got to sign this contract, to be in this child's life, and then from a woman's standpoint, I think sometimes the women said, they see us, they be like, oh, big brothers and big sisters, my son needs a man. He needs a man in their life. They don't think about the daughters like, oh, my daughter needs the big sisters, but I get a lot. Oh, my son needs a man. So from the mothers, the single mom standpoint, we need you. And from the men is, how much time, I'm already busy. And don't get me wrong, we are busy because we're trying to acquire, sometimes we're working from behind. So, but it's better to give than receive. I mean, that's the good book says that, and I really believe that. The more you gain, the more you give, the better off you are. So we have to change the way we think about things. We got to be giving, and then we will receive. So that's the philosophy that we're trying to, I'm going to say preach, but teach. Big brothers and big sisters.
One barrier I can tell you right off. I'll play devil's advocate.
Come on with it.
Okay, got the husband. I'm the wife. We got 2 kids already. Honey, where you going?
True.
You think you're going to take care of somebody else's child? You need to stay home and take care of your own.
True.
But you may have a boy and a girl, and the boy may need to have a brother or the girl a sister. So, you may have that situation. Or you could have one child in the family that, you want that child. That child wants to have a sibling, maybe a situation where you may not be able to have another child. So you could mentor and bring that child in for that sibling, for that child that you have. That way you can volunteer. So it's, you can make it work.
You can.
You can
make
blend
it
the
work.
families because that's all we are in America anyway.
We are
Is a blended
family.
family.
And I will say that for me, if you ask my girls, I am family. I mean, like I said, I've met sisters and brothers and nieces and cousins. Everybody knows who I am. I'm not just a volunteer. I've become a part of the family.
Because you don't wear that hat when you walk in the door.
Right. No, it's
or
not.
Or a pin on your shoulder.
Correct.
Okay.
At first, it was okay. This is a volunteer coming in. It was a little sketchy at first, but after we got relaxed, I've been doing this volunteer thing since '04, and now it's second nature. I walk in the house, I sit down, I have dinner. Sometimes I sit there longer than I need to. Just having conversations. So I've become a part of the family. You volunteer, and I think a lot of people think that, like I said, think of it as a job. A lot of people think of it as, oh, this is my second job. I got to go to the second job. But it's not a job. Because from what Joseph was saying about the men like football, men like basketball.
Love basketball.
Mentor a child. There's children out here that have never been to a Panthers football game. They have never been to a Bobcats basketball game. Have never been to a baseball game. Mentor a child. Take them to that.
Expose.
Expose. They may never get to do anything like that because a lot of times, a lot of the children in the program, like you said, come from single parent homes. So the mom with the boys may not be able to afford to do things like that. Well, this is a way that child can get out and experience things. Take them to a football game. I mean, I've taken my girls to basketball. I've taken them to football. I've even actually made them volunteer. So you want to do that too. You want to make sure they understand the importance. We're volunteering for them. They need to understand that, they need to give back because you've got people out here that are giving to them. So they need to show appreciation, and they need to kind of see it from the other side too as well.
What made you get involved?
Actually, when I first got involved, my previous employer did a drive and talked about the program, and I was involved in the school-based program, which was 1 hour a week. I went to the school and had lunch with the child, and for that hour we'd have lunch probably about 15-20 minutes, and then with the rest of the time we did whatever, went to the library. I had a boy at the time. During school-based, at that time when I started, you could kind of do the